everyone, it's me, Buffy the Rate Slayer, and I'm back here for the final episode of the August 2022 Weekly Market Insight Series, which is coming directly from our, you guessed it, capital markets trading desk. All eyes were on the Jackson Hole Symposium as economists, politicians, market watchers, and others gathered together on Thursday for the Federal Reserve's summer discussion. On another note, the ECB published the account of its last meeting, at which it hiked its benchmark by 50 basis points and ditched forward guidance. Stock investors took a more defensive stance throughout the week as the data painted a mixed picture of the economy for a key speech by Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell. Treasury yields ticked higher and the dollar gauge dropped. So you ask, what else drove the markets this week? Well, let's go ahead and find out now. Oil rallied on tightening supply outlook. WTI drips 1.4% higher to trade around $95. Brent oil rose above $100. The government's main measures of U.S. growth pointed in different directions in the first half of 2022, adding to the ongoing debate on the health of the economy. Inflation-adjusted gross domestic product decreased at a 0.6% annualized rate in the second quarter of 2022. Orders placed with the U.S. factories for core capital goods rose 0.4%, pointing to sustained demand for equipment despite higher interest rates and concerns about a weakening economy. According to a new survey, the overwhelming majority of the economists expects the economy to tumble into a recession next year as a result of the Federal Reserve's war on inflation. Findings from the National Association of Business Economics shows that 70% of economists expect an economic downturn by the middle of next year or think the economy is already in one. Applications for U.S. unemployment insurance fell for the second week, suggesting that employers are holding on to workers despite growing economic uncertainty. Initial unemployment claims decreased by 2,000 in the week ending August 20th. President Joe Biden announced a sweeping package of student debt relief that forgives as much as $20,000 in loans for some recipients. The move could prove a potential game changer for some Americans, as this will give tens of millions of borrowers some breathing room at a time when cost of living has skyrocketed. Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky said the Kremlin attempted a cruel assault as the country celebrated its 31st Independence Day. Meanwhile, U.S. diplomats warned that Russia is preparing to intensify attacks on Ukraine. Washington announced $3 billion in new arms supplies for Ukraine. Global economic sentiments boosted earlier after China stepped up stimulus with a further $146 billion of measures. The Israeli ministry and the U.S. Department of Treasury signed the first agreement for Cyber Financial Corporation. It's supposed to strengthen the long-standing relationship and cooperation between the two countries. So now let's see how the housing market is doing. U.S. pending home sales fell in July for the sixth time this year, the lowest level since the start of the pandemic, extending the housing market's sharp downturn as high borrowing costs sideline prospective buyers. The National Association of Realtors Index decreased 1%. The Mortgage Bankers Association Index ending August 19th shows the volume of mortgage applications slipping another notch. MBA's Market Composite Index decreased 1.2% on a seasonally adjusted basis. The refinance index decreased 3% from the previous week. Refinances were down around 3%, while purchases declined 0.5%. In conclusion, rising inflation is becoming a serious headache for the U.S. government. The Federal Reserve officials keep stressing the need to keep raising interest rates, even as they reserve judgment on how big they should go at their meeting next month. Kansas City Federal President Esther George said the central bank hasn't yet increased interest rates to levels that are weighing on the economy and may have to take them above 4% for a time. Elsewhere, Atlanta Fed President Raphael Bostic said that he had not yet decided whether to back a 50 or 75% basis point increase at September's 2021 gathering at the Federal Open Market Committee. So, my people, that's all we have for the week. I'll see you next week with more market updates. If you like this video, please hit the like button below. Also subscribe and hit the notification bell to get notified when we upload our next video. Your support is greatly appreciated. As usual, stay updated with our news, and our pricing desk will keep you informed with pricing incentives. Have a happy Friday, everyone, and an even better weekend. Buffy out.